Welcome to the Hanford Dixon Show. I'm Gabriella Kreuz alongside the top dog. And we're here in studio even though we're both a little under the weather, honestly, Hanford. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was good, Gab. Let me tell you what I cooked.
Yeah.
I did pretty much. I like to cook.
You really talked up your collard greens.
I get that from my mom and dad. So I cooked some collard greens, which was absolutely delicious. I cooked turkey that I got from what's the little food store?
Oh, Dave's.
No, Popeyes.
Oh yeah, you were saying you were going to get Popeyes. That's so funny.
I always buy turkey from Popeyes, and that way it's already cooked. But you just have to thaw the thing out, and it takes forever to thaw it out. 72 hours, they say. Put it in the refrigerator, and then you cook it for like an hour and a half with the foil on top of it, and then you take the foil out and let it cook for another 25 minutes, and it's just absolutely delicious. And I cooked some. You ever had black eyed peas?
I'm sure I have.
Okay. What I did was the crock pot. I'll take the crock pot and I'll put black eyed peas in the crock pot. Let them cook all night in the crock pot.
Oh,
so when I wake up in the morning, they are ready to go. And then I made some honey cornbread, which was absolutely delicious. And I made some potato salad.
Yep, sure.
And I got a honey baked ham.
Oh, and you got the honey baked ham.
I got the honey baked ham, and yeah, I had a lemon cake.
Whoa.
And sweet potato pies.
I know you were talking a big game about that last week.
Yeah, from Dave's is Auntie. I think that's the name of the thing, but they are just absolutely delicious. So I got the sweet potato pies. And I think that was it, but that was enough. I also cooked some rice and gravy. What's this little pot that you cook the rice in? I just
the rice cooker.
Yeah, the rice cooker. So I cheated with the rice. I like that little rice cooker. So and then the gravy on the turkey and the rice, and it was just. That's
quite
absolutely
a spread.
Yeah.
Who came over?
My son came over. Oh, my daughter is in town with my two grandkids, and if you guys haven't checked this out, go on my Instagram at Hanford-Dixon official, and you'll see my little his grandson. His name is Dixon, and he looked just like me. And then my other grandson, he's just turned 2. His name is Junie, and he is so funny because he'll say, "Is Pawpaw okay?" And that little boy is something else.
Oh
but
my God.
It was just a good time. Tell me about yours. I'm talking so much here. Tell me about yours.
No, I got lost in all of your Thanksgiving spread.
Yeah.
That's so sweet. It's nice to have the little ones over. I did a Friendsgiving with my one of my good friends who had a bunch of our friends over, and then I headed to Michigan.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
First time meeting the whole family for my boyfriend.
Oh, how did that go?
I met his parents, but already. But this time I got to see all the brothers. There's a little nephew now. He's 3 months old. He was cute.
Oh.
Yeah, I met some of the cousins and the aunts and uncles. So it was a lot of fun, actually.
Oh, I'm happy for you. So it was all good.
Oh yeah, it was fun. We played games. I had some espresso martinis, and which was kind of risky because I kind of wasn't feeling that great. I think you and I both were saying we kind of got sick over the weekend.
Hey, Pat, she is such a martini girl, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gab loves it, man.
Who doesn't love a good martini?
That's right. Gab, was there a turkey bowl? Because they're a football family, aren't they?
That's a good question. So it was so snowy out. Yeah. It was several inches.
Up in Michigan, right, too?
It felt like a Hallmark movie, low-key.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, there's no place like home for the holiday. And it was like snowy, and they kept being like the happy couple. So,
But you're speaking of, so this is weird. I'm glad you mentioned that about both of us not feeling good because.
Yeah, it sounds like you had the same thing I had, like my stomach, and then now I can't even hear well.
And I know I wasn't I wasn't hungover or nothing because I didn't even drink anything. So I just about Saturday, I woke up and it was about 2:30, 3:30 in the morning, and I just was feeling weird. I mean, I'm like, what the hell is wrong with me? And then I started throwing up, and then I went from I didn't go to sleep. I stayed up from 3:30 on, and I just couldn't believe it. I lay down. I was, and I'm sorry guys, but I'm sure everyone's threw up before, not feeling good enough. And you know how when you're throwing up, it was so intense. I was sweating.
Yep.
While I was
got
throwing.
A good case.
Yeah,
you got a good case.
And then I'm just because nothing's never wrong with me, and I'm like, what is wrong with me? I just don't like this feeling. You know how your body isn't just something's wrong.
Yeah.
How you could just tell it.
It hits the emergency button.
Yeah.
It's like, yep, nope.
Yeah. So yesterday, what I did was, I had some things to do, and I did that, and came back home at 12. And I got under the covers, and I was watching football, and I'm telling you, I didn't move until now. I mean, I haven't had anything to eat since Saturday.
That's crazy.
I'm afraid to eat because I don't know, I don't know what to eat. I don't know, whether it had to be, I don't know, food poisoning or something. It was just weird.
Could have just been the flu coming around. I know everybody. Producer Pat, how you doing over there?
Yeah, guys, we struggling over here on this end, but it's been everyone's getting sick right now too.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I don't think it was the food, right? Like it must be something in the air. I don't know what's going on.
To me, it didn't seem like it was the food, because for me, it felt like any time I ate, I just felt like like it was anything I ate. So
well, and
was it the Christmas ales, Hanford?
I didn't have any.
No Christmas ales?
I had not one, nothing. That's what's weird.
Man.
But
not even a brewski during the game?
Nothing, nothing. You know what's weird? You know what I think it was? Right before, I don't know why I did this. Right before I went to bed, there was I had this candy bar, and it was in the cupboard. And I just took the candy bar out, and I ate, one of those chocolate fancy candy bars that have the little nuts, have the little nuts on the inside of it, and I took half of that thing and I ate it before I went to bed. And let me tell you something, that shit was coming up. I mean, I was just throwing it up. I mean, I could just, I get in my mouth, I could just taste that candy and that candy bar just come right.
You're never going to eat that candy bar.
No. Let me tell you, I had a half of candy bar left. Look, I went in there and grabbed that damn thing and threw it in the trash. I mean, I threw it in the trash so fast. It was just absolutely crazy. But
you know what was also trash, guys? Some of that football on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You see that Caleb Williams, the end of that game for the Bears?
Yeah, the clock management
Oh, my
was
goodness.
atrocious.
But you had to feel bad for the coach. You didn't feel bad for the coach.
Yeah.
You guys.
I think so.
I mean, maybe he relied on his players a little bit more to like assemble something more quickly.
Right.
And he was vesting his trust in them, and then he got fired the
Caleb
next day.
Caleb called an audible.
Yeah.
Pat, but first, did you see what happened? What they did? How they let him go out?
For the press conference.
Oh.
Yeah, Gab, did you see this?
Dude,
Matt Eberflus had to do the goodbye press conference and then got fired.
Right. Because they knew they were going to fire him. I don't know why they didn't do it before they sent this poor guy
Do you
out
think they
to
flew
do
him
that.
home, too?
Well, maybe they told him ahead of time.
It's a short little flight across the Michigan, Lake Huron or whatever that is.
But it was terrible. I mean, the clock management on that was just absolutely horrible because you got Caleb. I mean, he's a young quarterback. He doesn't know. Here he is. He's standing there trying to do an audible. And, the clock is just running and running and running. As soon as he started to do that, the head coach should have just say, hey, time out. And that way they'd have had
give him an extra
at least one play, maybe two plays toward the end zone. But it was just horrible.
Well,
But I don't think I always feel bad when one of those guys get fired.
I know. I feel bad. But I also kind of was like, I love watching the Lions right now. So
it's America's team.
I know. I'm okay with them getting another dub.
Does that have anything to do with you being in Michigan?
It probably does. But also that gritty blue collar.
Yeah. America loves that team.
Blue collar,
yeah.
I don't think it's long, Hanford, until we see Gab in a Lions jersey. I mean, I don't mind it. They're in the NFC. I don't mind it that much, but little sky blue jersey type thing.
Listen to me.
Man.
Listen to me.
Oh, man.
She better not walk in here with no goddamn Lions jersey on. I mean, then we will have a problem.
Then it's beef.
She's got the right colors on right now. The right colors, her Cleveland Browns colors, wearing them proud. But we forgot to even mention this, Gab. What about that
Ohio
Cavs
State?
game?
Oh, okay.
We got to get to that one. What about that Cavs game?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh. Were you at the game?
Donovan Mitchell drops 20 in the fourth quarter of his 35 points. We come back and just dominate. I didn't go to that game, so hear me out. I'm still sad about this. I was offered tickets to the Cavs. Were like, pick a game coming up, blah, blah, blah. We could do Wednesday. We could do Sunday. I ended up going to Wednesday's game last week, and we lost against the Hawks.
Brutal.
And I even said, I was like, oh, maybe I should have chosen Sunday.
Yeah.
But I knew the holidays over the weekend I was going to be gone. Would I be able to make it back in time? Would I be tired? You know, we got a long day on Monday, and I wasn't feeling great.
Right.
So, anyway, we lost on Wednesday, and then I didn't pick going to Sunday's game, which was awesome, amazing time down at Rocket Mortgage. This team grinds and claws its way back to beat the defending champs, the Celtics. It feels good to beat Boston. I don't care what anyone says. I know it's early in the season or whatever. It always feels good to beat Boston.
Well, I think we were down by 14, right, in the game, and we came back to win it. I mean, it was just a great game. Pat, before that, did we lose 2 in a row?
Yeah, we lost 2 to the Hawks.
Yeah, 2 in a row, back to the Hawks. 1 at home and then 1 in Atlanta.
Which was so unexpected. It was random.
Yeah, and the thing too, like we played not great at home. Like Atlanta won that game, but we lost that game in Atlanta, man. That game was awful.
I didn't even watch
They really
that
didn't
one.
play well. Donovan didn't play well.
Hey, enough about that. Roll Tide!
Man.
Here we
Alabama Yellow Jammer just jumped all over Auburn in the Iron Bowl. Now, what you got to say about that?
I got to say, we didn't give him a hard enough time last week. We didn't give him a hard enough time last week.
We got to keep our fingers crossed to maybe get into the big show, but Roll Tide did what they had to do in order to win that game. And I'm telling you, anything can happen in those big games like that. The only game that I could put that probably will match the intensity of the Alabama-Auburn game is the Ohio State-Michigan game. I mean, what the hell?
We don't know, Hanford. I don't know.
I mean, come on. Ohio State losing to Michigan this year?
The 4th time in a row, too. I mean, this year, exactly. But if nothing, I that was perplexing.
So, guys, what do you think? Ryan Day? Do they hold on to him?
I think he has.
I don't think he can. 0 for 4.
Pat, you just heard me say I hate when they fire coaches over something like that.
I know, it's a tough.
But you have to win the Michigan game. I mean, you have to.
I was thinking he's got to be gone tomorrow, like the Bears guy. And then I was trying to come back down to earth. I mean, I think. Do you think that if it comes down to national championship contention, that's more important? But still, 4 times in a row losing to your biggest rival.
20-point favorites, guys.
Hey, did you see his press conference? I mean, in his press conference, he pretty much the whole time, he never picked his head up. He had his head down the whole time. I mean, guys, I'll tell you this about that Ohio State-Michigan game. First of all, if you'd have told me this year that Michigan was going to beat Ohio State, I would have said you've lost your mind. Yeah. You have absolutely lost your mind. Ohio State's ranked number 2 in the nation. I mean, the best team, I think, in a long, long time. And Michigan, was it in the big house?
It was in the shoe.
In Columbus.
In the shoe.
In Columbus.
Yeah.
They came to Columbus.
They tried to plant the flag. Didn't you see any of this go down?
Well, yeah, the fight, the big.
Did you peek your head out from the covers, Hanford?
Well, here's the problem.
What's going on?
Here's the problem, guys. Here's the problem. If you want to stop them from planting their flag in the middle of the field, you should have taken care of it on the field. And I guarantee you, if you'd have took care of your business on the field, you know what would happen? They'd have took their butt with their tail between their leg and went in their locker room trying to get out of Columbus. But, oh, no, you let Michigan come into your house and beat you. What you Ohio State fans got to say about that? I know all my buddies out there mad at me right now, but that's okay. Michigan beat you in your house. I have to ask you guys a quick question. What's the worst loss? Alabama losing to Vanderbilt
Ooh, that
or
was,
Ohio State losing to Michigan? It's got to be the Ohio State.
I think because of the rivalry involved.
It's got to be the Ohio State loss.
4 times in a row. It's just like on a year where we were 20-point favorites.
Where's Angry Ken when we need him? Genuinely, where's Angry Ken?
Hey, you guys got to listen to this. And I'm going to say that, I know, Pat, I know we're long over here. I know, you got to listen to this. So my son, Hanford Jr., is just, he went to Ohio State, just a huge Ohio State fan. And I said, so Ozzy understands this and knows, so I'll show you later, Pat.
Yeah.
I mean, Gab, too. Ozzy sent me a text, and he said, tell Hanford Jr. it's going to be okay. You know, laughing, you know. And then I sent my son a text, and I said, I am going to send you a doctor because I know you are sick right now. You need a doctor. And I'm laughing, and he is mad, and I just love it. I love it.
I bet he was telling you that last week.
Yeah.
When
Well, he tried to get back at me because Alabama hadn't played yet. You know, Alabama had the later game. What was it, like 3:30 or 4:30?
Yeah,
I think
3:30.
I think it was 3:30 game, and he's giving her, okay, well, we'll just see what happened to Alabama today, and then after Alabama won, he didn't want to hear anything. I love it. Alabama, Yellowhammer, roll, Tide, roll.
All right, we're going to take our break, and we'll be back with more Hanford Dixon Show right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. It's time for our Browns headlines, brought to you by Northeast Factory Direct. If you're looking to update your home, you've got to check out Northeast Factory Direct. They've got furniture, kitchen cabinets, hot tubs, mattresses, and so much more for way less than what you'd find at those fancy, expensive retail stores. You can also shop online at northeastfactorydirect.com or visit any of their stores in Cleveland, Euclid, Macedonia, or North Canton. Just don't forget to ask about that Hanford Dixon bonus.
And what they do for kitchens, I mean, it's just unbelievable. I've seen some of the designs of and boy, they've probably designed. I don't know. It's just a lot. I'll just say a lot of kitchens.
What's cool is they have their own designers in house.
Yeah.
So like if you don't know what direction to go, they can really help you out.
Yeah, just go in there and just but go in there and see them and talk to them, but just tell them, I want the Hanford Dixon special, and that way when you go in there, you're getting a great deal anyway.
Yep.
But that's just going to put a little extra juice on it. So,
Yeah.
and if they don't treat you right, you let me, Gabby, or Pat know, and we'll take care of it.
Speaking of taking care of business, Mile High Stadium, Hanford, for our Brownies. As of shooting this show, it'll be tomorrow, but this will air on,
Right.
TV Monday. But let's talk a little bit about playing at Mile High. You got any stories for us? What's the experience like?
It's a tough place to play. I think that's why. I think that's why you see a lot of teams that's going to play there. They go like at least 2 days earlier to get adjusted to the get adjusted there. Boy, I never will forget. We were playing a game there, and we were just playing such a great game. Thought we were going to win this game. I'm talking about the fumble.
Oh.
And Ernest Biner was going into the end zone, and one of their guys, I think the defensive back, put his hand in there and caused the fumble. Now, Ernest caught a lot of flack over that. I mean, people just really wanted to roast him. But, without Ernest Biner playing the game that he played, we would not have been in that ball game. I mean, he just had a phenomenal game, other than that fumble. But a lot of people don't know this. What happened was, I think one of our wide receivers, I won't call a name, but one of our wide receivers should have taken that guy shouldn't have even been in the vicinity. He should have taken that guy, released off the line of scrimmage, and that guy would have, because they were then a man-to-man, and he wouldn't have been in that play in order to make that play. But people were giving Ernest Biner such a hard time about that fumble. But one thing we did, Gab, and we made people understand this and knew, we were a football team. We were a team that was together. I mean, we win together, we lose together, and no one player. I don't care what you do or what happened. We're not going to blame that on any one player. And again, I have to stress it. I have to say it over and over again. Without Ernest Biner playing the game that he played, which he had a phenomenal game. Without him playing the game that we played, there's no way we'd have been in that ball game. But yeah, that's one of the games that really come to my mind. And then also being able to breathe out there. It's just it's so hard.
It's funny because I do some contracted work for the Browns, and we're doing an episode on how players use the altitude room in preparation for playing at Mile High. But what's interesting is apparently Mile High isn't high enough for you to, what we would call in running, because I ran track and stuff, we would call it legal blood doping, meaning it's technically not high enough.
Legal blood doping.
I just think this is, for any of you fans out there, fun fact, it's technically not high enough where if you were to train out there that you would truly boost your red blood cell count, which is interesting because it still obviously has implications for breathing out there, meaning so it is high enough for you to feel that the air is thinner or feel like you're a little more winded, right?
Well, I like to say this. I like to see you trying to run one of your 5 miles out there in Denver with that.
I did run the turkey trot this year, by the way, and it was not pretty.
I like to see you out there gasping for breath.
Yeah, no, it's a real thing. So a lot of my girl crush runners, they'll train at altitude because, like I said, you'll boost up your red blood cells. Then you come back and train at sea level, and you're like super fast, or it just feels a lot easier.
Well, the Browns, didn't you do a segment on the that room they have?
Yes. The
tell
altitude
us about
room.
that.
Oh, so you saw it?
What you mean I saw it?
That's funny.
So my you know what?
I didn't know. I wasn't sure if you paid attention like that. I don't even know where to watch it.
I say that's Gab, my girl. Always.
Yeah, we're shooting a series called In the Lab, and we evaluated the altitude room, and it's really cool. They can kind of man-made make that room. I think what they do is they pump nitrogen in there, and then they maybe take out some of the oxygen, and it does really simulate. They got a treadmill in there. You can really get a feel for what it's like to play in those conditions at Mile High.
You want to hear something really funny?
Get a little more. Did they have that machine when you were back?
No, we didn't. You want to hear something really funny? So I saw the segment, and I was paying attention, but I wasn't really paying attention. And when I looked at it, all I saw was, I don't know immediately. I don't know what came in my mind, but I was thinking, attitude room.
Oh.
You have an attitude, and I said,
you might have an attitude in there. You can't breathe.
And I said, yeah, we need an attitude room. I said, and then the producers in my ear, I switched it all over.
Oh, were you calling it attitude?
Yeah, I call it. But we do need an attitude room.
That is adorable.
Because in my notes, I just half read the shit, and I wrote
attitude room.
And I wrote attitude on my sheet.
Oh, that's so cute, Hanford. You were calling it the attitude room.
I know, it was so funny. We made
any room with the wide receivers, an attitude room.
Yeah.
I was about to. You beat me to the punch there.
Yeah, we made a joke out of it though, so it was all good.
That's cute.
But
we're gonna keep that going. I'm gonna bring that up.
No, don't you dare.
One day when Hanford walks in here and he doesn't get his Diet Coke in time, I'm like, do you need to go to the attitude room?
Well, we got that rant this morning about the drive-through Hanford. We got that one again, Gab, about how there needs to be a specific Diet Coke spot in the drive-through.
You're right.
What do you think?
Because here it is. Now check this out.
Yeah, we're checking it.
Why do I have to wait forever? You know how when there all these cars in the line?
Yeah.
Okay.
All
I'm getting is a Diet Coke.
Why don't you do the thing where you just run in and grab it?
But I don't want to. Why should I have to get out of my car? Here it is. When I pull up, when I pay for my Diet Coke, if that's all I'm getting,
hold that Diet Coke up.
They should have the Diet Coke right there.
Hold that thing up.
They should have it right there. Wait,
Hanford, are you bringing Diet Coke, McDonald's Diet Coke to Thanksgiving?
No.
Yeah, really?
No.
Are you bringing bottles? Something for the folks? Crisp. Yep.
How do you even? There's no way that can even be that good sitting there for a.
That's the first one I had since Saturday. So that's why. So don't even
the
talk.
big candy bar.
But anyway,
debacle.
let me say this real quick, and I'm done with it.
Okay.
Soon as I pay for my Diet Coke, you should have it right there waiting for me, and just give it to me so I can get out of the line and just go on about my business. Why do I have to wait for everybody that's getting all this food? It's taking them forever.
Yeah.
To just to get a Diet Coke. They need to figure that one out. They need to figure that one out, and I guarantee you, they're gonna start listening to us, and they're gonna start doing this.
Listen, I am telling you that there is, because you can go pull into one of the numbered spots and they'll come out and run it out to you. I think, right?
Absolutely.
Isn't that a thing?
Absolutely,
We're gonna
it is.
teach you about. We'll teach you how to do this.
With all those points left over,
you
you
have
got.
to utilize the app. We'll have to teach you how to use the app.
See, that was a way that both of you guys could take a shot at me. I know it, but that's all right. That's all right.
Listen.
You can't do it my way. You guys telling me that I have to do it that way. Why do I gotta pull up there and?
Yeah,
and
I know it's an extra step. We'll get you hip. Don't worry about it.
Damn it.
We'll be back with more Hanford Dixon show right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. It is time for our Lipton Hard Iced Tea. Instead of hard hit of the game, Hanford, we got hard knocks coming out. We're going to get that first episode debuting here as we shoot this show. It'll be happening this week. Anything particular you're excited about seeing in that?
You know what I am? It's going to be pretty nice, though, because my understanding is going to be the whole AFC North.
Yes.
All the teams, the Bengals, the Browns, the Ravens, and the Steelers. And what Hard Knocks does, and correct me if I'm wrong, they take you actually behind the scenes.
Yes.
And things that you were never know about and see, which is funny because obviously I know, because a lot of things as a professional football player we try to we keep in-house.
Yeah.
And not want anyone to know or see, but Hard Knocks is going to take you inside of the NFL, behind the scenes look. And that's what's so funny, man. I think we were talking about one of the things with the Steelers.
They had it on, well, I just saw it on social media, but at the end of the Steelers game the other day, Mike Tomlin must have been mic'd up for Hard Knocks.
This is courtesy of Brooke Pryor, the Steelers reporter.
Oh, man, you mic'd up. Shut up. Oh, shut your ass up.
First, it was so funny. He just said, "Okay, shut up."
Shut up.
And then whoever the player was, he wouldn't shut up.
Yeah.
And then Mike told her, "Look, shut your ass up, okay?" And he probably gave him that Mike Tomlin look. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, shut your ass up.
He's funny. Like I could see him being really funny. Like the guys get a charge out of him.
Well, and he's such a great coach, and just to watch him, I was watching the game. I think it was the Pittsburgh game against the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Steelers came up with a big play, and on the big play, it was a scoop and run afterwards where they ran it in for a touchdown, and you could see Mike Tomlin running up and down the sideline, and he's just like, he's got his fist pump, and he's going like that a couple times. I mean, that kind of stuff in a coach just really fires you up and gets you going, and that's why those guys, you hear the old run through a brick wall for the coach, and that's why his guys will run through a brick wall.
It was so funny to hear his personality come out, and you see how like the rapport he has as, like you were saying, Hanford, one of the guys.
Yeah, he's such a player's coach.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like one of the boys as a coach, and that's why
but he still has that slightly fear factor. Like he's kind of hard. Like he is going with our hard iced tea here, Lipton hard iced tea. He's got that feel that is, intense, but he still also like really loves you.
He is. He's a great guy. I mean, he's just. I mean, he's and to win as many games. I think it's. I don't know how many years in a row it is, but this guy's never had pretty much a losing season. He's just constantly winning.
Where does he rank all time, too? He's only got that one Super Bowl.
Well, you know what? Because there's very few coaches that have been with the football team as long as Mike Tomlin has been with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think you look at the Baltimore Ravens. I think their coach is a guy that's probably been with their team for a long time. But there's very few coaches that stick around as long as Mike Tomlin has, because those owners, man, they don't mess around. I mean, you get the job done, and if you don't get the job done, they will get rid of you. They don't
16
care.
16 seasons.
16 seasons, yeah.
That's crazy.
They don't care if you if they just sign you to a new contract or whatever. If you don't do the job, and most of those contracts are guaranteed anyway. And there's a lot of guaranteed money, but they don't give a shit. I mean, they will get rid of you in a heartbeat. And I think Harbaugh is a guy that comes to mind. There's probably how long has Harbaugh been with the Ravens?
I think it's been longer than Tomlin with the Steelers.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah,
Really?
Harbaugh is one of those guys that come to mind.
Been around a while.
Yeah, that's been around a while. He's coming up.
Yeah, so Mike Tomlin's been with the Steelers since 2007, which that feels like a long time.
Long
doesn't it?
time.
Yeah, I mean, that's a long time. John Harbaugh, we'll look that up too. But I mean, those have been some really long tenured coaches, guys, and they're media trained and all that. But do you think we're going to get a real look behind the scenes, Gab? I mean, I don't.
Well,
what do you think they're really going to say?
asterisks. I think they're gonna be showing some of the personality and like those mic'd up.
They're gonna
scenarios.
edit a lot. They're gonna edit
But
some
I wouldn't
stuff.
be
Don't you think?
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they have to edit out certain things because they don't want to. Obviously, they don't want to give up any of their trade secrets, or you can't capture any of their. What they've got X's and O's wise of plans to get out there on the battlefield.
Yeah.
So they'll probably be skirting around some of that. But I think it'll be a nice look at how things operate and get to see some of the personalities on display that maybe you wouldn't otherwise really see in just the context of a football game.
Boy, I can't wait. I want to see the Cleveland Browns, too. I just,
Right.
we're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin. I want to see
This
what
could
they're
be
going to
so
show.
interesting. I'm excited to see what happens with the Browns and what we'll actually see.
Yeah, and the Browns, the Bengals.
Because it kind of feels like
The
covering
Ravens
a dysfunctional family and like, will they
and the
tailor it to make us look
Steelers.
like everything's fine?
But this Hard Knocks things, I can't. I'm just so excited about it. I just can't wait to see it because.
Is your friend Ozzy gonna be on there, Hanford? Do you
Well,
think? Probably, right?
If
Did
they're
he talk
go-
about it at all? I bet he'll be
Probably.
featured in
Yeah.
some capacity.
No, I could see them now walking into Ozzy's office right now, and he's looking like he's probably saying to himself, "What the hell is this? Get out of here!" You know how those guys are.
Right.
There's certain things.
They try to keep under wraps.
They
of
try to
course.
keep under wraps, and obviously the commissioner said, "Okay, no. We want our fans to see some of this stuff,"
Yeah.
and I think that's where this whole thing came about. Take me to break, Gab.
Okay, all right, we got to go to break. Thanks for watching the Hanford Dixon Show. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. We're going to take a look around the AFC North Hanford, brought to you by Garage Beer.
We are on Monday night, and we need to
Okay,
talk about
we'll
this.
start with the Browns.
Okay.
Browns, Monday Night Football, rah, that's a good matchup.
And she's
How excited are you?
in her mind, she's cussing me out, too, because I won't follow her script.
No,
you
it's
know?
all right. Listen,
No.
I'm flexible. It's your show.
Okay.
And we're excited about the Browns. Monday Night Football. We did talk about Mile High Stadium. What do you think about this matchup, and how should our Browns fare?
You know what? I think it's anytime the guys get a chance to showcase their talent on Monday night, because a lot of them, what they do is, Gab, and you know this, what they do is they're brought, they watch Monday Night Football throughout their careers, and they watch some of the players, and that's where the players showcase their talent. And the players know if you have a good Monday night showing, I mean, pretty much everyone is watching you. So these guys, I'm telling you, they're going to be up and they're going to be ready for this ball game. So it should be really, really exciting to watch and see. I wish it would have been in Cleveland. I wish we'd have played them here in Cleveland, but that's okay if we're playing in Denver. It's going to be good.
What do you think about having that 8 days off? Historically, from your playing days, do you come back very rejuvenated, or is it a little dicey around the holidays where you could kind of be off of a little bit of a slump?
Well, you know what you do, Gab? You come back rejuvenated because, you take a lot of hits. Your body gets beat up, and anytime you have that opportunity to heal a little bit, and I think they'll be refreshed, and I think they'll be ready to go, because it's much worse if you're coming off of a loss. And we're coming off a big win. I mean, against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and so I think we'll be okay. We should be ready to go, and I think Stefanski will have this football team ready to go. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to see what happens tonight, but I think we'll have a good showing during this game.
Ozzy and your Ravens are finally on a bye.
Ooh.
They're 8-5, and to your point, this could be a good. That's Hanford's phone.
Yeah, turn your phone off, okay? Turn your phone off.
It's just got to be the volume button on the left side, bro. It's not that hard.
Oh, Gab, I got another question for you. Actually, going back to the Browns.
Okay, going back to
the Broncos quarterback, Bo Nix, Auburn guy.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think that matters for you, Hanford?
Good question.
Ooh.
War Eagle?
How do you feel about that?
Ooh, you know what? I've been
that
following.
Kid's something special, man.
I tell you what, man. I've been following this kid, Bo Nix, for a long time.
He's good. And he has a cool name, too. Let's just be honest. It's a sick name, especially if you're a good.
See, a lot of people doesn't know this, but this guy is he's second on their team, and he's leading the team in rushing yards. I mean, he's second on his team. He's a very athletic quarterback. I mean, this guy, not only when he starts to run, he can throw on the run. And he is, what can I say about him? I mean, we have to really be aware of him. We have to really watch him. I mean, he has a lot of trust in a lot of the guys playing around him, a lot of his receivers. And when you see him, I mean, he's got a couple of receivers. Sutton and Mims. I mean, you're talking about two guys that are 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah.
And he's not afraid to just take this football and throw it up and give those guys a chance to make a play. So, but Bo Nix, man, what can you say about him? I mean, he's right now, other than the kid from Washington, I mean, I think those are the two guys that are in line to see who's going to be Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
But this kid from Washington, he just had a big game.
Jaden Daniels is special, but people thought that the Broncos really reached. Sean Payton really reached on that draft pick. It's looking pretty good now.
Well, you know what?
It didn't at first, but it's looking good now.
Everybody was giving Payton a hard time. I mean, he got rid of a couple players, got rid of Russell Wilson and a couple players, and he said, "I'm going to do this my way." And you're exactly right. I mean, he's doing it his way, and he's starting to win. I mean, this team is starting to shape the way he wanted to shape up.
I was just starting to creep on some of the bets, like what they have things at, and over 1.5 touchdowns. I don't know. I'm trying not to get into betting too much anymore because I don't want to lose any money.
Well, but you know what, Gab? Not only is Sean Payton got Vance Joseph, who used to be, very rarely do a guy who used to be the head coach of the Denver Broncos come back, and now he's the defensive coordinator on this team. And boy, he's got those guys playing really well, very aggressive. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, they're leading the league in sacks right now. They have 14 guys that have at least a half a sack on that defense. Hey, they got really good corners that are led by Pat Surtain, who is I think is one of the top corners in the league, and they have two very good safeties. So this defense, again, I mean, it's not going to be an easy game for us.
Benito, he led the Broncos with 10 sacks. He's tying. That ties him for third in the league with defensive end Myles Garrett.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And how many of those sacks, Hanford, are coverage sacks? Because like you're talking about, that secondary is far and away. Like, there's a huge gap between 1 and 2. Pat Surtain is a lockdown corner in this league.
Oh my God!
From where? From where, Hanford?
Alabama.
From Alabama.
Yeah.
He's from Bama, though.
Hey,
he's your boy.
He's my boy. He's a lockdown, but they got those two corners.
I know, we just
man.
like seeing you animated.
They got
Bama, Jama.
Yeah, they got
Roll Tide.
I was trying to spare you guys that.
Uh-huh.
You know, I didn't want to put
We're
that
just trying to beat
pressure.
you to the punch.
But they
But
have.
don't you love seeing that, Hanford? He is a true lockdown corner in this league, and you don't really see that much anymore.
He really is, and I don't think you're going to see us testing this guy a lot. And it'll be interesting to see him and Jared Judy go against each other because you're talking about two guys from the University of Alabama, and I don't know if they played together, but or did they cross paths or what anything like that. But that's going to be interesting to see those guys. And you know, Jared Judy, guys, listen to this. You and I was just talking about this, Gab. Jared Judy played with the Denver Broncos, and he's one of the guys that they got rid of. So he is.
You know he's got a little extra fire.
He's got a little bit of extra fire that he want to go after tonight. And again, by the time the show air, I think we'll air just before the game start. What, about 7 o'clock or something?
Yes, sir.
We'll be on. So still time. But getting back to those Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
Did they blow one?
Ooh, against
yesterday?
the Eagles.
Oh
my! Did you talk
God.
to Ozzy?
No.
Did you send him the same text that Ozzy sent Hanford Jr.?
No, because I know he's sick. I know he's sick, and I know he just you gotta let him go for until about at least Wednesday or Thursday of this week. He'll reach out when he's ready to talk. You know, right now, trust me, he's not ready to talk. But real quick, the AFC North. Big game yesterday with the Bengals and the Ravens. I mean, with the Bengals and the Steelers. Steelers came out, had a hell of a showing. Russell Wilson over 400 yards passing, and I think they scored. There was a lot of points scored in that ball game because people have been talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers, how they don't score a lot of points. They came out and they won this game. They proved everybody wrong. That was a big game. Ravens was a big game. Big loss for the Ravens. I think the Steelers right now are 2 up in the AFC North, so we'll see what happens.
Well, you know, they played 13 straight games. So
you got it.
They might have been a little depleted. Thanks for watching the Hanford Dixon Show. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. We have put on our headphones because we're going to welcome in one of our Browns backers chapters that we love to hear from. Welcome, Becky Turner. You guys are of the Point Place Dog Pound. And that's the Toledo area for people who aren't as familiar, which Toledo, I was just through there, Hanford, through the holidays. I stopped to see my grandma. I got my dad's side of the family around there. So very familiar with your area. Pretty flat.
Very flat.
So you go to Toledo a lot, Gab?
I visit my grandma. Yeah, you know, I actually have 2 grandmas there.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, see, we learn something new about you every day.
Yep. I stopped in Mommy.
I already do that. I'm only kidding. Becky, how are you, darling?
I am wonderful. I'm so happy to be here with you guys today. This is great.
Getting ready for that big game?
Yes, we are. It's Monday night game, and I did a little research. The last time we beat the Broncos on Monday Night Football was in 1990.
Oh, wow.
29 victories. So let's do it again tonight.
Been a while. Becky, tell us a little bit about your chapter.
I started our chapter several years back. My husband and I go to a local tavern here, and there were some other Browns fans there. And we started to get to know one another and watch the games together. So I thought it'd be a really good opportunity, you know, to start the chapter. We're small but mighty. We raise money for a local food pantry in our community.
Awesome.
And we also raise money for the Humane Ohio, which is a low-cost spay and neuter establishment here in Toledo.
Very nice.
Becky, will you guys get together tonight? I mean, will you guys be at that spot watching the game tonight? Or since it's a Monday night game, will you guys just kind of just everybody do their own thing?
I know I'll be there. I think a lot of us are going to try to be there. I did let everyone in the club know they do have permission to call off work tomorrow. So hopefully that'll be a good incentive.
Well, tell us how, I mean, other than the big win against the Steelers, I mean, you guys, how are you guys feeling about this football team this year?
Honestly, I've been feeling pretty down about it. But, you know, the way the Browns do things, the minute you think you're ready to give up, they come across with this great win over Pittsburgh, no less. And so we beat the Ravens too, so that's a good thing. And they just keep you coming back, no matter how upset you get with what the team is doing. They always do something to, rekindle your love and your interest in the team.
Do you go ahead?
I was just gonna say, and doesn't that carry you a little bit? It was nice because we had those 8 days, Hanford.
Yeah,
so truly, that win over Pittsburgh carries you a little bit through the holidays. Even everybody's got a little more pep in their step, and they're throwing on their Browns gear.
Yeah, because I'm just happy. You guys have a lot of Pittsburgh fans or Ravens. Well, more Pittsburgh fans, I would say, in that area that you could just really take that dagger and stick it in and turn it.
Yeah, we do. We don't have a tremendous amount, but the ones we do have are all pretty good friends. So we have a lot of fun going back and forth together.
Well, I can't wait for this game. Pat, when do we air now? We will air this Monday night. So right before the games start, we will watch this show. Yeah, you better tell all your members that you were on the Hanford Dixon show with Gab. So you have to tell them about this so everybody can watch it.
Oh, absolutely. Maybe we'll have a watch party.
Yeah, you can have a little watch party before the game. I like that shirt, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you got cool gear. Is that a scrunchie?
Do
you have a scrunchie on?
I'm sorry?
Do you have an orange scrunchie on, or am I seeing things? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, she's got to show off the fit while she's here.
Well, see, that's pretty good because your eyes are a lot better than mine. I need to.
Hanford's got his glasses off.
I need to put all these back. See, I'm over here with this young girl back, so I have to put on my glasses so I can see everything.
I get it.
Becky.
I get it.
Becky.
Yes.
This football team, and I agree with you. I mean, we never know what's going to happen with this team this year. I mean, all the talent that we have on this football team, it's got to be a major, even though we beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, even though we beat the Baltimore Ravens, it's still a major, major disappointment because I remember when I played, we're always, at this time of year, we're trying to position ourselves for the playoffs. And when you hear, like, for instance, the Buffalo Bills last night clinched a playoff berth, when you hear about all the other teams that are clinching, you hear about all the other teams, whether they're in the AFC or NFC, trying to position themselves for the playoffs. And then you hear of our football team. I mean, here we are. I mean, we're 3-8, and we have to – there's a shot, but it's a long shot. And I'm just sick of it. Are you guys tired of it right now?
Yeah. Every year we get tired of it. It's always a fight to get as far as we can get. And I don't think it should be such a hard fight for us because we do have amazing talent on our team. And I think I really like Jameis Winston coming in right now.
Yes.
I just love that positive vibe that he brings. And we need so much positivity in everything that our team does. I try to keep positive about the team. It's hard to, but I still want to see that playoff. I want to see that Super Bowl ring one day. I know we're going to get it. It's been a long road. The road's getting longer. Hopefully we'll be able to make some changes and do something where we can achieve that.
Hey, Becky, did you just hear Gab's phone going off?
Oh, he's going to throw me under the bus.
I mean, did you hear our phone just going off?
No, this guy, we've been trying to teach him how to turn his volume down for at least 2 years now.
That was Andrew Barry calling.
Hey, is he hiring?
Yeah.
Right.
I couldn't help but get her on that one. I mean, I just had to get her with that one, to turn that damn phone off.
You're silly.
Gab.
You're silly, Hanford.
So, back, she threw me off on what I was going to say.
Well, we appreciate you coming on, giving us a little glimpse into your
I'm not ready to let Beck go yet.
You were trying to give her, he was just trying to provide a little, background ambiance, apparently, for for our interview.
Becky, I have to say this. We really appreciate you guys coming on because we just want to let on our show. We want to let our Browns backers know how much we really appreciate you guys, and because I'm telling you, we just know. Obviously, there's Browns backers clubs all over the world, and I'm not saying I'm sure the Browns appreciate you too, but we in this show, especially myself, we love you guys.
Thank you, Hanford. And obviously, I don't think any of us would be here if it wasn't for you and this dog pound.
I know. Isn't it crazy to think of Hanford's influence all these years later? You look at all the passionate fans and how the dog pound has withstood the test of time.
Well, thank you, Gabby. Thank you. Thank you. I just have to stick my chest out on that one. No, I'm only kidding.
Well, we have the best fans in the land, and a lot of this we have our roots in history, like when Hanford played, and it's nice to see. Just to echo Hanford, it's nice to see all the passion continue, even in all of these smaller towns and all kinds of towns throughout the world. So we appreciate you coming on and sharing just a glimpse of what your chapter is.
Let me say this, Beck. Beck, you remember back in the 80s when in the stadium, you remember how the fans? Well, you're not that old, but you know how they used to bring the banners into the stadium, and you remember that old dog house that used to sit right down on the pound. I mean, those were great times. I mean, that's when it was crazy inside that stadium. You remember any of those days?
I do. I'm actually a transplant from outside of Cleveland, and my dad and I would go to games once in a while down at the old municipal stadium.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. And it was just a great feeling. I know that game against the Steelers was reminiscent, I believe, of those times, just in the cold and the snow coming off the lake. That brought back some of those same feelings.
Well, Beck, thank you very much.
Yes, thanks for coming on, Becky. And what's that? Oh, yeah, you know what? I knew there was one more thing I wanted to ask you. We want to ask about your particular chapter. How can people get involved or join and come hang out?
Absolutely. We do have a Facebook page, the Point Place Dog Pound. And of course, you can always find us on Browns Backers Worldwide, which is a wonderful resource for any Browns fan. Our viewing location is called the Mayfly Tavern and Pub. It is on North Summit Street in Point Place. And I have to say, the owners of this establishment are absolutely amazing. They help us in anything. We work together as partners in some events. They have amazing food, drinks. We have our paraphernalia all over the place. We even have a shot for people called the Cleveland Crusher, which we like to have when we get a touchdown here and there.
Yeah.
But it's a great, wonderful place. Everybody come visit. Good food, homemade soups. It's right on the lake. So you can go outside and see the lake. It's a wonderful location.
Oh, I love
And
that.
come meet us.
Hey, Beck, do you guys have your own T-shirts?
We're working on our own T-shirts right now.
Let me know. I have to. We have to get one of those. But again, thank you so much. We really appreciate you guys.
Oh, thanks for having me. Let's have a good game tonight, too.
I know. Go Brownies, and maybe we could beat Pittsburgh one more time in our near future. Thanks so much, Becky.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more Hanford Dixon Show right after this. Welcome back to the Hanford Dixon Show. Hanford, as we get
Some
ready.
people say I'm no good.
Hey, do you ever sing any Christmas songs?
I'm crazy as can be.
This could be
I
a
get
Christmas
drunk
song.
in the
be-
morning and I get
Do a little sleigh
stoned.
bells
And,
in it.
hey, you know what I had to ask you? I start singing that.
Yeah.
Did you see Lainey? Is that right?
I know you got a crush on Lainey Wilson, baby.
Yes. Did you see her and
So-
And what's
Jelly
the guy?
Roll.
Jelly Roll.
I love
That's
Jelly Roll.
right. That's right.
What a duo that is. So
Wasn't
cool.
that was so
At
great.
the Cowboys.
Yes.
So I had to look it up because I didn't know, but that looked just so awesome, and she's so talented. Jelly Roll, I'm late to the game here, but I didn't know how awesome he is, and I just there were videos I was scrolling through social media.
He is
had
such
me
a
in
nice
tears.
guy.
I mean, he's a good
nice
dude.
guy. His story, yeah,
his
you're
story,
exactly
he's
right.
one of those people you're glad he got famous. You're like,
Yeah.
that's the type of person
Yeah.
we should make famous. So.
Well, you know what I like about Lainey is and you know what I was thinking?
Oh, I know what you like about Lainey.
No, she wears those
Bell-bottoms.
bell-bottoms pants.
Yeah.
You wear the bell-bottoms
I do.
all the time.
I love the bell-bottom pants.
Yeah.
I love her little throwback style. I'm a little boho hipster like that,
Yeah.
and she brings it country-esque, so it's really great.
She's got that southern drawl.
Oh, I know that just makes you swoon.
Oh, that
Hanford.
southern drawl. She talks about that southern drawl. Like roll, tide roll.
This
I know
guy.
it. I know it. You're ready to go. All
We
right,
gotta get out of here now. Thanks for watching the Hanford Dixon Show. We'll see you next week. Go Browns.